In August 2018, 27-year-old Megan Cordi and her mother, Jennifer Weathers, went to a wedding in Yamhill County, Oregon. What was supposed to be a joyful night ended differently. On their way home, something happened to Megan. Only 3 people know the true story. One is deceased, another says Megan left the car and disappeared, and the third was a 3-year-old who saw her mother for the last time. Too young to explain what occurred, the mystery of Megan Cordi ending up at the base of a Dayton road embankment is riddled with inconsistencies and deep frustration. This is her tale. Megan Cordi was born in December 1990 to Jennifer Weathers and Anton Cordie. She had a younger brother named Jacob. Details about Megan's early life are sparse. Her father, Tony, was a former Clackamas fire captain, and they lived in Oregon. In 2015, Megan gave birth to a daughter, Gia. Gia meant everything to Megan, and they shared a strong bond. Megan's Aunt Tracy described her as someone who loved to bring joy to others. She had a playful attitude and would do anything to make someone smile. One of Megan's standout features was her radiant smile. She truly had the ability to brighten a room. On August 18th, Megan, her mother Jennifer, and her 3-year-old daughter Gia went to a family friend's wedding at Heiser Farms, an events venue and pumpkin patch in rural Dayton, Oregon. The day before, Megan and Jennifer argued about who would drive to the unfamiliar venue. Jennifer wanted Megan to drive so she could leave with Gia if she got tired, and Jennifer wanted to stay longer. Ultimately, Jennifer drove them. Whether either had alcohol issues is unclear, but given the events that followed, alcohol clearly had a major role. The couple had a lovely ceremony and a spirited reception. Drinks were abundant, and most guests were enjoying themselves, except for Megan and Jennifer, who had both been drinking. Guests observed them arguing passionately. Jennifer was reportedly visibly intoxicated, swaying and appearing to be between a 6 to 8 on a 1 to 10 drunkenness scale, definitely not fit to drive. Around 10 p.m., Gia began to feel tired. Being just 3 years old, it's understandable that Megan wouldn't want to be at a loud reception with a restless child. Jennifer, however, wanted to stay longer. She reportedly told Megan that what she predicted had come true, referring to leaving early because of Gia. Jennifer drove, Megan sat in the front, and Gia was secured in her car seat in the back. The argument resumed in the car. After a short drive, Jennifer stopped and Megan exited. Megan's phone location was traced here, confirming the event. They continued arguing until Jennifer persuaded Megan to re-enter the car, this time sitting with Gia in the back. While driving, Megan called her boyfriend, who heard the ongoing heated argument and shouting. Some reports suggest Megan told her boyfriend that Jennifer was intoxicated. After that call, Megan's boyfriend never spoke to or saw her alive again. In the days following the unsettling car journey, Jennifer recounted her version of events to the authorities. According to Jennifer, Megan, upset by their argument, insisted she pull over so she could exit the car. Jennifer complied, and Megan left the car, leaving behind her phone and shoes. Jennifer called out for Megan from the driver's side window, but when she turned the car around to search for her, Megan was nowhere in sight. She spent the next 30 minutes driving back and forth along that stretch of road, looking for Megan before deciding to head home, wanting to get Gia home. Jennifer believed Megan might have gotten a ride with someone or returned to the wedding venue. That night, Jennifer went home, went to bed, and fell asleep without knowing if her daughter had safely returned. She hadn't.
Whole Communications.
Hi, is this a number I call for a non-emergency?
This is the dispatch center, non-emergency number. How can I help you?
I'm sorry. My daughter has been missing since last night, and I'm getting kind of worried because she's supposed to work in 10 minutes, and I haven't heard anything from her. We were at a wedding, and she was upset and got out of the car, and I haven't heard from her since, and I haven't been able to find her. I drove around for 2 hours this morning looking for where she got out of the car, and so I don't know if I should call 911 or if I have to wait a certain amount of time.
On the morning of August 19th, Jennifer wakes up to find Megan still missing. She considers reporting her absence, but opts not to call 911. Instead, Jennifer contacts the non-emergency line, reporting that she spent 2 hours searching for Megan that morning, but hasn't been able to find her.
No, there's never a certain amount of time that you have to wait.
Okay.
Do you want to report her as missing?
Yeah, I think so.
Where was she missing from?
I've checked the hospitals and I've checked the jails, and she's not in either one of those. So, the wedding was at Heiser Farm in Dayton, Oregon.
Jennifer's call has sparked much debate, from her choice of words to her tone. While she appears calm during the conversation, people react to stress differently. However, her mention of checking jails and hospitals raises eyebrows. If Jennifer genuinely believed Megan might be in trouble, there should have been a more urgent tone. Moreover, ruling out these possibilities would only intensify concerns. Megan could now be injured without a means to seek help, or even worse, she might have left with someone unsafe.
And what is your name?
My name is Jennifer Weathers.
And what is her name?
Meighan, M-E-I-G-H-A-N, Cordie, C-O-R-D-I-E.
You know what she was wearing?
She was wearing I want to say it was floral pantsuit. It was one piece, short sleeve, navy blue with flowers on it. And she doesn't have her phone. She didn't have her phone. She left it in my car. She didn't have her wallet. Everything was in my car.
Okay, we'll go ahead and have someone get in contact with you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
The authorities took Megan's sudden disappearance very seriously. She had reportedly exited a car at night on a dark, unlit road in a rural area she was unfamiliar with, a potentially dangerous situation. An appeal was made for volunteers to help search for Megan, and her photo was widely circulated locally. 300 volunteers and emergency personnel gathered to search the woods, rivers, and farmlands where Megan was last seen, but there was no sign of her anywhere. To give context to the area, on the day Megan disappeared, she had visited a store where a family friend works, not far from the wedding venue. Megan Spencer, the store employee, had complimented Megan's blue floral jumpsuit. Megan replied with a "thank you," and Megan Spencer remembered the outfit because it's rare to see many people dressed up in the area. Megan Spencer was surprised by the disappearance, but not by the possibility of someone going missing in the area. She commented, "Well, if she was barefoot, and it's 10:30 p.m. at night, it's pitch black down there. There's no streetlights, no nothing." By the end of the first day, Megan's family and friends were heartbroken to learn there was no news. She was still missing, and given the unusual circumstances of her disappearance and the authorities' knowledge of the last person she was seen with, it was understandable they wanted to question Jennifer Weathers further. However, they first wanted to search her car. Megan's cell phone and shoes were found in the front seat where she had been sitting when she left the wedding venue. While Megan leaving her phone was concerning, something even more troubling was discovered in the car, a clump of blonde hair on the front seat. The hair had its roots attached, indicating it was pulled out, not cut. This suggested the argument Jennifer mentioned was more serious than she had indicated. The following clip shows part of Jennifer's interrogation, conducted while she was connected to a lie detector test. The investigators were aware that these results couldn't be used in court, but hoped they would help lead them to the truth.
Yeah, we were in the car.
Okay. And then it got heated in the car?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And, did it ever get physical in the car?
She pulled my hair.
Okay. How far from the venue were you, or was it still at the venue?
No, it was right before she got out of the car. We'd already started driving, and she was yelling at me, and she just yanked my head back.
and I slammed on the brakes. And then I yelled at her, "What are you doing? Gia's in the car." And I reached back and hit her arm. I'm trying to hit her arm. Just trying to make her let go of my hair.
As previously noted in this case, only 3 individuals knew the events of that day. While we can't confirm which parts of Jennifer's account are accurate, it's evident she places all the blame on Megan. Arguments are common, and while physical altercations are never justified, Jennifer appears to be minimizing her own role in the argument and portraying Megan as having acted erratically in front of Gia. Based on the available information, Megan was a devoted mother to her daughter, and her behaving violently in front of her without cause seems inconsistent with her character. I'd also like to highlight the significant pause after Jennifer's last statement. This is a classic example of filling the silence. Despite trying to appear calm and composed, Jennifer appears uneasy. If she was accurately recounting the events and confident in her version of what happened, Jennifer wouldn't have hesitated for 12 seconds before mentioning that she had struck Megan's arm.
And when she finally let go of my hair, I started slowing the car down, which is when she started opening the door and saying, "I'm going to get out." Oh, first she had called her boyfriend.
You hit her in the arm how many times?
Oh, I don't know. I just reached back until she let go of my hair.
Okay.
I
Are
don't
you
know.
sure that you were hitting her arm?
No.
You're just hitting something.
I was just reaching back and,
Okay.
I mean, it had to have been her arm because she would have been like this. So, I'm assuming it was her arm.
Okay.
Yeah, but she called her boyfriend first and wanted him to come get her.
What's
And
his
that
name?
was before she pulled my hair. His
Okay.
name is Brendan. She calls him Burr. That's his nickname, B-U-R.
Jennifer informs the investigator that Megan phoned her boyfriend to come and pick her up, but doesn't specify the reason or the timing of this call. Considering the accounts from wedding guests who stated Jennifer was quite intoxicated, was Megan concerned about her mother's ability to drive? If so, why would she leave her daughter in the car with her?
All right. So, is this cursing back and forth at one another and really getting ugly like that? I mean, you're
Oh, are
saying
you
that
asking me?
she's...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she called him, you know, "I want you to come get me, I want you to come get me," and he must have said no. And then,
Whose phone did she call him with?
hers.
Okay.
And then,
And this is when she pulls your hair not too long after that?
yeah,
What predicated that?
who knows? I have no idea.
Were you guys in the middle of yelling at one another and she pulls your hair?
Jennifer's reply, "Yeah, I'm sure," suggests her memory of the events that night is unclear, likely due to her level of intoxication. If she had been sober and the two had argued, an unexpected action like grabbing one's hair would have been memorable enough for her to recall the preceding events.
Okay.
Yeah, so then, you know, after he wouldn't come pick her up, and she pulls my hair.
So using derogatory terms towards one another, would that be
No,
a
I
fair
don't call
assessment?
Megan names, yeah.
Does she call you names?
Oh, of course. I mean, not of course, but yes, she does.
Okay.
Why does Jennifer feel the need to portray Megan as the antagonist in this situation? Her assertion that Megan doesn't insult her, followed immediately by acknowledging that Megan does use derogatory language, is odd behavior for a mother whose daughter is still missing. While she has admitted they were arguing, she continues to place blame on her absent daughter. This behavior might not seem so glaring if Jennifer's overall demeanor weren't so upbeat. Once again, her daughter is missing.
Trying to get her to let go of my hair. She finally lets go of my hair and starts slowing the car down. She's like, "I'm going to get out." And I'm like, "You're not getting out. You're not getting out of the car." And I was almost to a stop. And she started opening the door, which is why I was slowing down. And I was almost to a stop, and she just opened it and jumped out. So then I stopped the car and got out and walked around it, closed her door that she had jumped out of, and I was looking for her. I couldn't see her anywhere. I'm calling her name, and she's not answering me. I can't leave the car because Gia's in it. So I'm just calling her name, get back in the car, and I can't see her anywhere. So I got back in the car and turned it around because I figured with the direction she jumped out, she'd be heading the opposite way. So I got back in the car and turned around and tried to find her with the headlights. I had the windows rolled down, and I'm just calling her name, calling her name, calling her name. And she's just not answering, and I couldn't see anything.
How fast do you think you were going when she jumped out?
Oh, I mean, like, literally I was almost to a stop.
Okay, like less than 5 miles per hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because as soon as she started saying she was going to get out and started messing with the door handle, I started coming to a stop.
How long after she jumped out were you out of the car going around the back of it?
I mean, not that long. I mean, she jumped out, I stopped the car, put it in park, and got out.
So a matter of seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't call anybody or anything like
No,
that?
no, I got right out of the car.
Okay. And you couldn't see her?
Mm-mm.
Did you hear anything when she jumped?
Mm-mm.
You didn't hear an ouch or anything
No.
like that?
No. No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Then you went back to the car, turned around,
Mm-hmm.
headed back towards the farm?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the child doing?
I don't know.
To clarify, when asked about Gia's whereabouts, Jennifer hesitates before softly answering, "I don't know." After another extended pause, she adds, "I would imagine she's crying."
So I drove back and forth, I don't know, probably for about a half an hour, trying to find her. I called Bert at some point, but he didn't answer his phone. And then Gia was crying. Oh my God, I can't believe she was there for all of that. Oh my gosh.
Once more, Jennifer is expressing concern for what Gia might have seen, rather than focusing on the fact that Megan is missing.
Is this normal for Megan to flip out like this?
Not so much recently. I mean, back in the day when I first got divorced and got remarried, it was.
A child saying, "Just leave her," about their mother might be somewhat believable, but considering that the same child was reportedly crying moments earlier due to the confrontation she witnessed after being left alone in the car's back seat, it becomes highly improbable.
Did you try and call her?
Try and call Megan?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. No, I did not.
Why not?
I don't know. It didn't even occur to me to try and call her.
Okay.
I was more worried about Gia and getting Gia home. At that point, Megan wasn't my focus, Gia was. So I just drove home and I took her upstairs and put her to bed.
Had Megan done this kind of stuff in the past?
What kind of stuff?
Jump out of your car?
She'd never actually done it, but yeah, she's threatened to before.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Okay. So, what time do you think you got home?
I don't know, probably almost midnight by the time I got home.
Okay.
Around midnight. And then I woke up at about 5:30.
Went right to bed?
Mhm.
Gia go right to bed?
Yeah, she was conked by the time we got home.
She was already asleep in the car. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
And, any more drinking or anything that night for you?
No. Definitely.
Muscle relaxers, anything?
No.
Okay.
No. No, I was so tired already. I was exhausted. I didn't take my makeup off or anything. I never do that. I didn't take my contacts out.
Okay.
I just got in bed with Gia because she was asleep. And I just crawled in with her and cuddled her.
Okay. Did that surprise you that Megan was acting the way she was acting in front of her daughter?
In front of her daughter, yeah. And that she wouldn't stop.
Okay.
It definitely surprised me. I mean, she hasn't done anything like that before.
No.
No. No. I mean, not in front of Gia.
Okay.
No.
She's acted out of control in the past, but not in front of Gia.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and yeah.
So,
That's why I ended up thinking she'd had more to drink than we thought.
okay.
You know, because it was just so out of control. And Burr said the same thing when he talked to her. You know, she was just... But, I mean, yeah, she's been like that in the past, but, you know, never... Most of that was pre-Gia.
Mm-hmm.
And usually in text.
Mm.
Usually, she's an angry texter. An instant angry texter.
What kind of stuff sets her off?
Me. Anything I do. You know, she'd done it to me a few weeks ago when I stopped by to pick up Gia while she was at work. I met her at her work and picked her up. And
Where does she work?
Blue Mercury at Bridgeport.
What is that?
It's a cosmetic store with aesthetic services.
Okay.
She's an esthetician.
Uh-huh. You'd stop by to pick up
I picked
Gia.
up Gia and asked her what time she was going to be done with work, and she said 5:30, and I thought, you know, you had told me 5 before, and she was like, yeah, I thought it was 5, but it was 5:30, and I just kind of rolled my eyes, because she does that a lot, like, just doesn't know her schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, what? I'm like, well, I don't understand how you never know your schedule. Like, you're 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
How do you not know whether you get off at 5 or 5:30?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And that was it. And then I go home, and the text messages start. And it's just, you know, she can take one little comment and just really run with it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, we hadn't had a fight like that for a really long time.
Not a physical fight?
No, yeah.
When was the last time you had a physical fight with her? Prior to Saturday?
Oh, years. I mean, when she was a teenager, she used to acts like she did that night.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that hadn't happened for a really long time.
Okay. So you go to sleep with Gia, and then what?
And I woke up at about 5:30
On Sunday.
on Sunday because the sun was coming out, and I got up and I got dressed and grabbed Gia and went out to look for Megan.
You didn't call her first?
No. No, I had her phone. She had left her phone in the car.
When did you figure that out?
When I took Gia out of the back seat, I saw it on the floor.
After 4 days of intensive searching, the authorities had to halt the search. Despite a significant effort to locate Megan, there was still no sign of her in the extensive area around where Jennifer claimed she had exited the car, so they had to reduce their efforts. However, they continued to treat Megan's case as an active investigation. By this point, investigators had become increasingly suspicious of Jennifer. Her account of events was inconsistent, and when her lie detector test results came back inconclusive, it deepened their concerns that she wasn't being completely truthful. Soon after the search for Megan was called off, on August 23rd, a group of joggers were running along the quiet roads of Dayton when one of them spotted something down a steep embankment. It was Megan Cordi. Megan's body was found at the bottom of a steep, rocky slope. Why hadn't the search team located her earlier? Because Megan was discovered 9 miles from the location where Jennifer claimed she had left the car. This discovery marked a tragic conclusion to a heart-wrenching case. Megan's body was recovered from the site and taken to the medical examiner's office for an autopsy. The results indicated she had sustained significant injuries. The cause of Megan's death was determined to be blunt force trauma to the head, resulting in aortic separation, which would have led to instantaneous death. For approximately the next 30 days, there was minimal information from the authorities regarding Megan's case. However, a press conference was held on September 27th to provide an update on the case. During this conference, District Attorney Brad Barry outlined the events leading up to Megan's death and discussed the autopsy findings. He informed the media that the medical examiner believed Megan's injuries were inconsistent with being struck by a vehicle, and the absence of damage to her bare feet indicated she had not walked any distance. It was also disclosed that Jennifer Cannell underwent a second polygraph test and subsequently ceased cooperation with the investigators. Perhaps the most crucial piece of information from the press conference was the revelation by Brad Barry that the medical examiner believed Megan had exited the car while it was moving at a speed greater than 5 miles per hour. Due to the accidental ruling of Megan's death, the district attorney announced that no criminal charges would be filed. Investigators and the district attorney suspected that Jennifer had been driving in the wrong direction, and Megan either fell or jumped from the car, hitting the ground and rolling down a steep slope. Surprisingly, there was evidence suggesting that Jennifer may have accelerated just before Megan left the vehicle, a detail possibly provided by Gia. Jennifer Weathers faced charges of driving under the influence and reckless endangerment. At her trial in October, without a breathalyzer test from that night, prosecutors relied on witness testimonies from the wedding attendees. Jennifer accepted a plea deal for drunk driving, avoiding charges related to her daughter's death. The prosecutor and district attorney expressed frustration at the absence of charges in Megan's death, accusing Jennifer of misleading the police. Jennifer served 5 days in jail and received a 3-year probation sentence. Currently, Gia resides with her father in Salem, Oregon, and Jennifer is prohibited from contacting her. In a recent development, Megan's father sued Jennifer for $500,000 due to negligence leading to Megan's death while driving under the influence. He also sued the wedding venue for nearly $1 million for serving excessive alcohol and failing to prevent Jennifer from driving intoxicated. The case was dismissed when he failed to respond to a defense motion. The truth behind Megan Cordi's death remains elusive. This case will likely remain full of unanswered questions, and given Jennifer's actions, she is not expected to share a different account. Thus, the case concludes here.